move on to this one, and I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes to go through this. So what does this mean then if you have optical, you can populate an optical network with extremely fast boundary clocks? You can start to think about engineering the front haul with optical layer. So you can meet that 130 nanoseconds. So you don't have to start torturing yourself about how my Ethernet switch is going to behave in this environment. You'll just deploy this optical network. You can put anything on the top of it. You can put string if you want. You're still going to have timing there. And you can change the Ethernet switches out for layer 2 or layer 3 or segment routing or add capacity as you wish without disturbing the timing network because it's sitting on the optical layer. Exactly how it should be. Deterministic, reliable, extremely fast, future-proof. So the virtual PRC, what is it? What is a PRTC? Let's look and see. The PRTC is a function. It's not a box. We sell it as a box because that's how we deliver the function. But actually, it's not. It specifies the timing performance from UTC to the network interface. So if you look at PRTC-A, the PRTC-A says you come in at UTC and you go out of our box at 100 nanoseconds relative to UTC. So the UNI interface from the PRTC box has got to be no more than 100 nanoseconds time error. A PRTC-B is being specified at plus or minus 40 nanoseconds. In other words, if you have a box that's a PRTC-B, you can come out the time error at 40 nanoseconds. If you use an optical boundary clock network, you can make the optical ring, because of the speed of the box, because of the very low time error, 2 nanoseconds per hop, you can build an optical ring that meets PRTC-A specification. Let's look at it. Here we have, for example, here you have an ePRTC and a PRTC-B. Sorry, that should be 40 nanoseconds. You're hopping down at 2 nanoseconds per hop. Remember I said 2 nanoseconds. Even if it were 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 hops down to the mid-haul, that would still be 40 plus 5, say 5 times 5, 25, 65 nanoseconds. You're at the mid-haul where the DU is. DU pool is here, within 65 nanoseconds of UTC. You can engineer this 130 nanosecond front haul all the way back to the core. So this challenge that we see of how are we going to meet these really tough requirements, suddenly it becomes not just feasible, but very feasible to build really fast optical-based rings that are within a PRTC specification. In other words, the ring itself is the PRTC. You can deliver services to banking customers from your optical drop-off into the city where they're asking you, can we have a microsecond? You say, better than that, I'll give you 100 nanoseconds out of the box. And that is an extraordinary leap in terms of time, granularity, phase management, and service. And I really believe that as we go forward and people start to do this, there'll be more and more ways to exploit it. So let's have a look. Here you come in 40 nanoseconds, 2, 4, 6. You reach, from the PO tower, PRTC-B, you reach the Isle of Dogs within 46 nanoseconds of UTC across the optical layer, and then you can deliver that down the front haul at Canary Wharf. You're going to very easily meet, even if you put Ethernet switches here, boo, you're going to meet the 130, I'm just joking, to meet the 130 nanoseconds for services to your customers, right? This is quite an extraordinary leap in engineering and in thought process because you're no longer bound by the box. You start to think in terms of the network is the PRTC. Okay? So that's the only thing I wanted to say. Virtual PRTC, stable timing, stable transport, deterministic constant time error, extremely fast protection, rapid BMCA. land-based time delivery, immune to spurious short-term GNSS effects, and we know the jamming and spoofing that's going on, and it's not going to stop. It's immune to upper layer rearrangements, and that's absolutely critical, and I think it's a fundamental factor that we used to have in SDH and we can now recover if we engineer our network like this. And it can be controlled and managed as a single seat instance. Simon will talk about that later. It could be a small front haul ring, a city, a region, or concatenated rings around the country. Okay, so just talking about that. Here's your 46 nanosecond virtual PRTC core, and now you have a virtual PRTC mid-haul ring, plus or minus 8 nanoseconds using optical layer. You're very easily going to meet these requirements at the edge of the network, very easily.